Alright, I'm going to talk to you guys about shocks today. What I usually do is I have a certain number in my head that I start with at pretty much every track to allow for adjustability. So usually I'll start off with the front rebounds at 32 because you always want to, the goal is to keep it as high as possible to keep that nose down for good aerodynamics down a straightaway. Tracks that say, short tracks won't make as big of a difference, but, tracks like Dover, anything with high speed, you know, you're going to want to keep that nose down the straightaway. So I start those at 32. Everything else, front bump stiffness and rear bump and rebound, I put at 16. You can adjust in many different ways, and mine, I'm a big believer in shocks, so I adjust quite a bit during practice. Um, Usually the first things I'll do is if I need the car to rotate a little bit better on entry or late entry, what I'll do is I'll raise this rear rebound on both sides. You can do it to just one. I usually start off adjusting in pairs. 10 clicks is a little extreme, but it's going to help quite a bit. But if you bump that rear rebound up to 26, it's going to make that car rotate really good on late entry and make the car rotate better for you. You can play with the front bumps also for entry and center. What you can do is you can raise this left front up, make the bump a little bit higher, and what that'll do is it'll slow down the compression on the left front, which will make the car rotate a little bit better, or going down on the right front will do the same thing. Or you can go the opposite way if you're turning too good and you have the rear rebounds kind of where you want them, you don't want to mess with those. You can go up on the right front and down on the left front, and that'll make the car rotate just a little bit less in the center. For exit, you're going to do the opposite. You're going to use the bump for the rear and the rebound for the front. I start with the rear bump stiffness. If you're too loose coming off the corners, you can go down, especially that right rear, but I'll usually do the same on both sides. You can go down on that right rear bump stiffness. It'll allow that weight to transfer to the rear off the corners better. Or you can decrease the front rebound. So I usually start with the rears because you can keep that nose down a little bit better. But usually I start off at 32 on the front. Very rarely do I stay at 32. Usually I end up somewhere around the 24 to 28 range. I usually keep them even. The only things that really change for me, or anything that's different from left to right, is I'll have the bump on the front different. A lot of times, usually my left front will be a little bit stiffer than the right front to give it a little bit better turning. And usually my left rear bump will be a little bit stiffer than my right side because that'll help it off the corner a little bit more. It'll help tighten it up a little bit, give me more grip. But those are some simple things you can do with shocks. You can play with those. Also, one of the things you can do to make the car turn better is you can raise the right side bump stiffness and then raise the left side compression, or rebound I mean. You can raise the rebound on the left and compression on the right to make the car not really roll over as much. It'll make the car corner a little bit quicker. It'll make it turn left better, I should say. Or do the opposite to, you can go down on the right side bump, down on the left side rebound to make the car turn a little bit less in the center of the corner. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Like I said, I tend to start at 16 all the way around except for the front rebound and put it at 32. And what that does is it gives me adjustability. You can start off at 32 for the rear rebounds and front rebounds, and 16 all the way around for the bumps. It's really just preference, but that's what I do, and that's just a few things that I do, and that should give you guys a pretty good